Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is XS, and in today's pick card video, we will be looking into what is actually going on in your current love connection. So I will definitely use a more energetic perspective in this video because everybody has their own thing and actual circumstances going on in their own reality. So definitely apply the messages with a grain of salt to your own circumstances. So we will have 4 piles today. This is the first pile, second pile, third pile, and the last pile. The timestamps are listed in the description box as usual, and I will see you guys at your pile. Hi Group 1, welcome to your reading. So the card that we have for you guys at the introduction at the pile selection is this oracle card. It says rebirth and it has a bunny on it. The first thing that I'm channeling from this rebirth card is that you are currently going through a massive spiritual transformation, and this transformation is impactful enough for your actual reality to change around it. At the same time, Spirit really wants you to acknowledge that even though you are going through this huge personal transformation, your person isn't really going through the same spiritual lesson at the current moment. And your spirit guides also want you to know that even though you are going on a very upward trajectory spiritually, you have to allow people to be where they need to be at the current moment. So definitely apply this message if it resonates with you, but I guess the underlying message behind this advice would be that your person isn't at the same spiritual level as you, and it's not really saying that they're better or worse spiritually than you. That's just the current circumstance, and you definitely know that better than anybody about where you guys are individually on your spiritual journey. So definitely allow people to remain in their own moment to actually finish what they need to finish in their own life. So that's definitely what I'm first getting from this rebirth card. And then we will choose other oracle cards to see into the other energies, but this card would be the main theme in your relationship at this current moment. So individually, I see that life in general right now might be quite exciting yet turbulent. So Spirit wants you to know that the deepest purpose behind whatever you're going through in love and in life in general is very, very positive. It's actually one of the biggest changes or one of the biggest blessings that you have received till now. And I definitely think that you already consciously picked up on that, but maybe some of the hardship and some of the negative experiences that you went through that came with this transformation have led you to have some doubts or at least just uncomfortable with how things have been. And then we have head, logic, and evaluation. So with this card, I see you trying to use your logic to rationalize some of this more spiritual things, or at least how things have transpired energetically. You're trying to understand and establish a logical system around the more esoteric spiritual stuffs that took place in your life. And usually when it comes to like our head and our logic, I guess the spiritual community would somehow not like demonetize that, but there is a level of I guess superiority in terms of using our intuition or whatever, which can be true in so many different cases. What I'm seeing from this card is actually you working really hard to establish your your Hierophant position. You're finally able to establish a language, a spiritual language of your own. You're actually being able to, you're actually given the opportunity to translate lots of the intuition and the messages that come from you, these divine sparks that come from you very naturally and intuitively, and translate them into logic, translate them into a language of your own. So on a higher level, your consciousness is being transformed at the same time as the external energies in your world is being raised in their vibration. So absolutely, you're going towards the right direction, and there will always be a step where we need to translate, where we need to start registering lots of the intuitions and the sentiences that we received from spirit into our own head, into our own logic and rationale. So that is what is going through in your own world, and I see you being able to work that muscle in this relationship between you and your person. So I wouldn't be surprised if there are lots of communications going on or lack thereof. So if you are communicating with this person in real life or on a psychic level a lot, then definitely know that even though sometimes the topics are not necessarily of a spiritual nature, the energies exchanged are absolutely very, very spiritual and has a very deep connection to both of your souls. And this communication in real life absolutely is not limited to verbal communications. It can be just in terms of energies, in terms of your feelings, the things that you pick up intuitively. Or if you're actually not in a lot of contact with this person, just know that on a psychic, on a spiritual level, your energies are very much entangled. And as long as you try to open up a little bit more, you can start detecting that. You can start feeling your person's energy surrounding you. So I definitely see two cases here. One is you having enough communications and you being able to get the most out of them. And at the same time, or on the other hand, some of you guys are not having a ton of communications with this guy in your life. So just know that this scenario is serving you in a different way as well. So let's use this Shadow Work Oracle card to see into, I guess, the more of the shadowy aspect of this connection, because we are trying to get a more well-rounded, wholesome understanding of the energies here. So let's just use this deck to see into other details. Okay, so we have emotionally overreacting, you're overthinking, which is causing a flood of unnecessary emotions. So definitely take this message as, you know, what it means. So if it applies to you, then this would be a confirmation of this is actually my pile. Okay. So what I'm getting here is, of course, a lot of my pile one here are being quite emotional, which is so understandable in love relationships. But also what I'm picking up from this card, just for you guys as a whole, is that you're really trying to not spiritually compromise with this person, because you might feel like somehow you're much more mature, or at least spiritually mature than your person. But I guess the mechanism within yourself, if you know this applies, would be that you're really trying to associate some sort of deeper spiritual meaning with this person, with this relationship, but you have to take the reality as how it is and try to start from there in terms of, getting more spiritual wisdom. And I'm sensing here that right now, in terms of your spiritual lessons, your guides and just the current energies at hand really want you to understand the differences between you two and to be able to remain comfortable and at ease with that. So they really want you to consciously accept your person for who they are, especially in terms of their spirituality. And in another word, you have to take their current spiritual status quo as what it is. So you might think, or you might perceive them as being stuck, if that applies, where you might see them as not performing at their best or not showing up in their best self, or you just think that there's always some places that they can improve. And I don't think that this is being verbally communicated, this frustration in terms of your spiritual differences. But this energy is definitely spilling over into your actual communications that you have with your person. So this frustrated and this frustrated energies from you is showing up when you guys come together or when you guys do communicate. So maybe try to locate where that energy might be, in what moments, in what kind of scenarios would they show up. And then first of all, my apologies, my cat's eating over there, so if that has any significance, cat eating. But anyways, if you feel like, you can be comfortable with just how things are, where you think that maybe I really deserve something deeper, because that's also what I'm getting, because I feel like you guys know that, or deep down in your soul, you know that your person or your soul partner, let's just say your soul partner, your actual person, which might be or might not be the person that you're actually with right now. Your soul knows the level of commitment, the depth of energies that needs to be exchanged with your person, because it is written in the blueprint of your soul. And I also feel like partnership might be quite important for you guys in your current life. So definitely look into your 7th house, where your Venus, to see where they locate, and if they have very strong influences over your the entirety of your energies. So let's use tarot cards to look into the more specific details that's going on in your relationship. But I definitely want to mention again about the very strong positivity that is hidden, or that exists behind all of these facades. And Spirit really wants you to, keep that close to your heart, because I do feel like, even though you guys I am currently tuning into your energies, and I feel like there is maturity, spiritual advancement, and strength being your, the backbone of your energy. So very strong individuals from pile 1, also very spiritually advanced and committed. But at the same time, I definitely feel that some of you guys have been quite turbulent emotionally. So Spirit wants to provide you some comfort and just try to cheer you up a little bit, and definitely want you to at least now just force feed you the idea of this process being immensely positive, and they really, really want you to absorb that and use that as the anchor for your own emotions. Okay. So from the first card, Six of Pentacles in reverse, what I'm hearing from Spirit is quite straightforward, so I'm just gonna reiterate that. So the reason why your person was very attracted to you, or you guys got connected together, was because at least on their part, they perceive you as someone who has their shit together. So they really perceive you as someone who knows what they're doing, and they on the other hand, they might feel like they're quite directionless at the current moment, and even though on the surface they might not express that, or they even try to hide that, and maybe try to get on your level to match your level of confidence on the exterior, deep down they definitely want to follow you. In a sense, they want to be around your energies. They want to be in that higher vibrational energies, that energies that they really want to represent themselves. So that signifies how you guys got together, or at least the I guess the how your person's energies were when you guys first got together. That's the motive, that's the intention behind their attractive or their attraction towards you. And then we have the Queen of Wands. So I see that in terms of you're very attracted to this person, I guess sexually. And by that, I definitely mean a lot of things. So first of all, I guess appearance-wise, you are for sure attracted to them. And as you guys progress deeper, there is definitely sexual attraction here. And at the same time, for you individually, you're able to channel that passion, that fire within you. So I think that would be the most important indication for you here, is for you to channeling in that creative solar plexus, very strong individual creative energy. So I see you representing this Queen of Wands in your own energetic body. And then we have the Six of Wands here. So usually I will use the third card as this theme card for you, and it's definitely matching up with the Rebirth card. So the Six of Wands here is saying that you're going towards a personal spiritual success. You are stepping towards it, and you know that. So you might have already gone through a lot of the negative cycles. You might did a lot of the cord cutting and lots of inner reflection and evaluation of your life. And that just had to happen, because that was the moment when things just start falling apart, where things start not being able to compute in your own head. You're really trying to match the practicality with spirituality, yet you were having a hard time doing so. So that brought upon lots of the perceived negative cycles, or dark night of the soul per se. But now you're finally getting out of that, where you already know you are starting to go towards a more positive, a more smooth cycle in your life. Yet this would be Spirit's confirmation to you that yes, that success, that huge change that you're really expecting is right around the corner. So even though right now you might not feel like your relationship is giving you that much fulfillment. So we are really talking about soul fulfillment here. I really don't know where you guys are at in terms of like real life commitment. Maybe some of you guys are just starting out, or some of you guys might have already dated for a bit. I just don't know if the conversation of pushing this forward, building a deeper relationship, like long term, I don't know if that happened or not. That's not what I'm picking up. So I am really feeling like you guys are still in the dating world, and you're really representing this Queen of Wands energy, like being very passionate. So I'm definitely not feeling a very strong, like like committed, serious type of energy. But that does not necessarily mean that you never had those conversations or feelings before. That's just I guess the majority of energies that I'm feeling. And then we have the Empress here and the Emperor. That's very cool. I definitely don't see the Emperor or the Empress representing your person. These two cards are both representing you, so it absolutely makes sense. You are going towards the completion of spiritual authority in both a feminine and a masculine term. So let's break that down. So in terms of the Empress, Spirit just told me that you are already the Empress, at least in this relationship, the feminine energy or what you bring to the table. So I wouldn't be surprised if group one, you're all gals, or most of you guys are gals, but it definitely, it can be applied vice versa. So the Empress would be the feminine energy that is being invested in this relationship, and you are already the Empress, so absolutely have faith in that. Have faith in all the spiritual knowledge that you already obtained in your current journey, and know that you have so much to offer. You have enough. That's the message that I'm getting from the Empress card. This is the things that you already obtained. You already solidified in your own energies. As for the Emperor card, the Spirit wants you to know that as the Empress, you want to look for an Emperor, where you expect the Emperor energy in your significant partner. So you really need to look for that. But still, don't lose faith if that's not the current case right now. Going back to the previous message, we know that this person might not be at the same level of energies or spiritual level as you. And also from the first card, we knew that this person might be attracted to the Empress energy of yours because they want some of that for themselves, because they lack that. It's not because they see you as an equal in that sense, specifically. Another thing about the Emperor card is that, well, first of all, you can definitely meet someone who represents the Emperor energy in the future. You can definitely expect that from the person you establish a long-term partnership with. So may it be a long-term relationship or marriage. I'm really talking about the soul partner that's written in your soul here. But going off of that, what Spirit wants you to make of the Emperor energy here is to actually represent it. So now the feminine energies where the Empress energy is being applied in a very sophisticated way by you already. Now it's time to start applying a more noble masculine energy in your life too. So I know that sounds quite esoteric, but that's, I guess, the ideological overarching thing I'm getting from the Emperor card. In your own individual life, it might manifest in so many different ways, but I am seeing you using that fire within you to be absolutely unapologetic in your masculine self. And I feel like from the Empress card, you're able to use your feminine body to channel in that confidence and that acceptance from others as well. But now you need to work that masculine energies too, to get to that level, to match to your Empress energy as well. And that's how you put both feet into your new reality. That's how you step the other foot that's still in your older vibrations. You step that into the new door as well. So yeah, group one, that's all I'm seeing for you guys today. As for where your relationship is going, I guess the last thing Spirit wants to point out in terms of timeline would be that you will gain much more clarity very soon as you finish up your current cycle and become because right now you really need to rely on time, and you really need just how energies evolve around you on the astral plane. Things will happen quite naturally, and you've been through a lot of spiritual battles to know it too well about the importance of time. So you really have to wait it out to gain a better understanding, or for things to evolve more naturally, so that you can make a decision, or for your person to make a decision. For your current emotional state, Spirit wants all of you to just be more happy and try to find more satisfaction in your current status quo, because on a spiritual level, you're doing absolutely great, and you fought all your battles. And it might be hard right now because you haven't seen any like real positive shifts or like huge changes happening in your life, or that you are just frustrated with your romance right now. Whatever it might be, Spirit wants you to remain positive, because they're telling you that spiritually you're doing very well and you're actually going towards a trajectory of success. So that will be all for you guys, my group one friends. Definitely leave this video a comment or a thumbs up, and also subscribe if you like more in the future. I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Bye. Hi group 2, welcome to your reading. So the oracle card that came out at the pile selection for you guys is Pomp, and we have a peacock on the card. So what I'm first channeling from this card is that your person is very attracted to you. They're very attracted to your appearance, how you, like a peacock, how you accessorize yourself, what you wear, just your appearance in general. And that's in itself is a quite, it's a very positive thing. You bring so much color and so much fun into this person's world. So that's what I'm first getting. So definitely big fire energy. I wouldn't be surprised if some of you guys are Aries or Leo. I'm definitely getting a lot of Leo energy too. At the same time, Spirit wants to just go right off that, wants to mention to you that you guys really want something deeper, just in general, in terms of like romantic connections. And when you do fulfill this person's need for like attraction, or at least their need for appearance in you or in their romantic interests, then you're giving them too much what they want, is what I'm hearing. And I definitely see you, being happy because of this, because you might be happy because your person's happy, or however that might work. But for you, Spirit really wants you to acknowledge that the more you work on that, or the more you work on that one specific aspect between you guys, the more your person is going to take you for what you're showing them. The more they're going to take you for all the glamour and pomp that you're giving them. And I'm really sensing that you are really trying to give them what they like, where you're trying to perceive what would be attractive to them. And after you do that, in turn, you will feel happy too. So I guess that would be the mechanism behind what I'm picking up from this card, but definitely apply it in a more energetic term. And yeah, so that's what I'm first getting from the Palm card. But going back to you guys, Spirit is definitely asking you to look for that deeper yearning in your heart, what you actually want from this person or from romance in general. I definitely see that at this current moment of your spiritual advancement, you are equipped where you feel like your heart is ready for something much deeper than just the facades and the exterior appearances, which are fun. It's so much fun to participate in these things, but again, the real connection or what will make things actually work, make everything click, is from the deep within. So now it's almost like you're working from the outside to the inward, or that's just how the energies are right now. But Spirit wants you to know that your soul knows the right way of conducting things. So if you're not able to achieve that right now with this person, then definitely keep an open mind and try to gain as much spiritual wisdom and just good experiences from your person, because your soul absolutely knows where you actually belongs. And if we're not really trying to decide if this person is your actual soulmate, or they might just be more of a karmic nature, or just someone spontaneous you meet on your path. But regardless, your soul knows when things are working or not. And our conscious mind and our emotions will cloud that, but just trust that your soul will always bring you to someone who can fulfill you on so many different levels. So let's pick a few more cards to look deeper into the energies present. Again, what I'm hearing from Spirit is that it's not saying what you're doing right now, or at least that aspect of you, is wrong. Not at all. I'm seeing, or I'm hearing that actually you need to apply more of that, let's just say Leo energy, but what I'm getting is just glamour and pomp. You need to apply that more into your spiritual pursuits, because that is that showmanship, I would say. Because I guess when it applies to your spiritual career, or just career in general, it would be showmanship and how well you exhibit the good stuffs, high vibrations, attractiveness, how you project that outside, how you manifest that. You need to apply it more in your spiritual pursuits as well. So definitely not seeing this as a negative thing. Rather, you really need to acknowledge the, all the spiritual energies behind your glamour. It's not just, you definitely put in lots of your divine spark or spirituality, spiritual energies into that Venusian facade that you're putting out. So if you are thinking about pursuing a spiritual project, or you're in the creative industry, then this would be Spirit's confirmation for your gift. And then we have silence your mind and pay attention, listen. That would be a confirmation to what we just said. Your mind might be in the way of your soul knowing if this person is a good match to you or not, and whether this thing would be long-term or not. So I would just focus more on the energies, and you guys need to decide for yourself going forward, like what actions to take. But from the listen card, Spirit really wants you to channel in more of the inquiry that you have, this very curious energy that you have towards this relationship, towards this person. Maybe you really try to communicate with them a lot, or think about them a lot, or you might just spend too much time on romantic pick a card readings. Whatever it might be, Spirit really wants you to right now channel in that energies back to yourself. So I would say if you just try to isolate your energy from this person's energies, even though that might be hard to do, because if you do communicate with them on an astral level, it really takes effort and self-discipline to do so, I guess. But whatever it might be, they really want you to just be in your own energies more and let your own energy wash over you, so that you can be cleansed and have more of a clarity. Because right now it's just in your head, it's all about this person, and it's just buzzing and creating cycles of thoughts and emotions. Yet it's, it's not completely you. You are constantly exchanging energies with this person's when you do that. So now Spirit really wants you to just go back to your heart. And also because of what I channeled before, of you giving this person too much of what they want, or for some reason that's how things took place, is you really trying to I wouldn't say pamper to their likes and needs. That's just how things are, or how things are energetically. So it might not be the case in your own consciousness, but if there are hints of that in your reality, then Spirit definitely wants you to start asking yourself what you want, and whether this person, if you want something other than that, or what are the other things that you should get from someone who you're romantically interested in. And that's, of course, on a very fair level. You have to, apply your spirituality into the equation as well, in terms of thinking about, I guess, the requirements of a romantic partner. And then let's pick another card from the Shadow Oracle deck to see into, to see into the current situation from a more well-rounded and wholesome perspective. And maybe we can gain much more clarity from this deck too. Okay. All right, so we have suspiciousness is a quality of distrust and disbelief. Give yourself reasons why you feel this. Forgive yourself, accept what has happened, and give yourself grace to make mistakes. So from the suspiciousness, I guess that's very deep rooted in your own current energy entanglement. You might be suspicious towards this person and create mental conundrums for yourself, because it's not something that you can work on, like in your real life, in your reality. You guys might not be there yet, but in your head you would try to solve that, because you do consider this relationship as highly related to your own spirituality and your own spiritual development, is what I'm picking up. You definitely consider all these things, all these plots that happen in your romance a part of you already, and you're really trying to make sense of that, grow your spirituality, your identity from it. So I wouldn't be surprised if overthinking is present here. I'm not just picking up you thinking about things within a reasonable extent. So even though that sounds a little harsh and criticizing, but if that applies, definitely know that that's Spirit's sign for you to stop doing that. But if you're not experiencing that, then that might be for someone else. And then we have forgive self. Okay, so for the forgive self card, what I'm hearing from Spirit is this, and that's definitely from Spirit's third person perspective. They're telling me that you have not been treating yourself well. So because, okay, personally speaking, if you tell me that like ever in my past, I wouldn't really agree with it. But so from a spirit's perspective, that's what's happening right now. So I definitely see you entering in this relationship with that energy. And I just asked Spirit what would be the solution for that, and Spirit said it would be time. And you are healing yourself right now, even though, you know, there are certain negative energies and emotions in this current relationship. Just know that you are naturally being healed. Because I don't think that there's much for you to do or to change right now or for now, but just feel more secure and more certain in the natural flow of things, and just know that you're being healed. So yeah, let's use tarot cards to look into the other details of your relationship. But I guess to summarize for the oracle cards, what you need to do right now is just to uncover more about what you like and be more in your own energies, even though it might be boring, or you know, you've been in your hermit isolation mode for way too long, that now you really just want to live your life. The Spirit is saying that, you know, though it is very arduous, you are still finishing, you know, the last straw of your healing process until you can be fully positive and being pushed in a very positive and smooth way by life. Right now, it's almost like you're still finishing up like a retrograde cycle. You know, it's not necessarily that your planets are in retrograde. It might as well be that you have lots of planets in retrograde in your own chart, but it might be Saturn return or solar return. But just know that very soon the currents of life will change and will be in your favor much more. So from the Justice card, you went through a tough period of cord cutting, of saying goodbye to things, resolving karma, rectifying injustices in your life. And you received both the good and the bad, but I'm really feeling that just the general emotions, because you're not necessarily getting much from the cord cutting. It's really eliminating negative establishments in your life. So I'm not really seeing that much, like, I guess, like you building things. It's more about demolishing the negatives. So I guess the positive have not yet came in, or it's coming in a way that you have not expected, or in general, that, you know, that sword of justice, it's a double-edged sword. So even though you feel like, and I do feel like the justice is on your side, it's almost like lots of the things that happen to you unfairly have been rectified, but not in a way that provides you more, and not in a way that fulfill you completely. It's almost like you have to cut through a part of yourself too, in order for you to step into this new environment. So that's what I'm seeing for you, that, you know, transpired in your immediate past or in your most recent past. And then the second card, we have the Eight of Cups in reverse. So that's you going back into your own heart, going in that hermit mode to try to contemplate, or, you know, you had to do that. That's just how the energies were, where life led you to. But I see you being in this energy, and that is the energy that you were in when you first entered this connection with your person. At the same time, you were still in this state as your relationship develops. So, that's definitely pointing towards you just mentally and in your inner realm being quite concerned and always thinking in loops about the things that went on, or the energies exchanged between you and your person. It's because there is a void that wants to be filled romantically. And it's not saying that because it wants to be filled, it will be filled very much soon. That's not how timing works, but I do see that your heart being opened up by this relationship, and that's why in this connection alone you feel kind of frustrated and even suspicious. Is because there is a deeper space within you that wants to be seen and wants to connect to others. So it's really that space being reawakened, and that for now creates an even deeper sense of void, a deeper sense of frustration within you. But just know that there always exists underlying positivity behind all these activations. It might not feel like that physically for now, but definitely know that you are in the process of rebuilding your identity, and especially the identity that you share with others, your social identity, what you can offer to not only your own self, but also, I guess, now to other people's understanding of this world and to their ego as well, because this is Venusian energy. And I guess lots of the conflicts that were created is because the vast differences between your consciousness. If all you're giving to this person is pampering to their ego, of course take that with a grain of salt. This is that scenario that's coming up again. If you are giving to this person for their ego, or you recognize that they are coming from a more ego-based consciousness, and you're from such a high spiritual consciousness where you're really thinking about things in a spiritual term, you're trying to weave and fabricate everything together. But when people are in their 3D reality and they're thinking from an ego perspective, everything is separated. So it's almost like two ends of the consciousness spectrum, seeing the worth and value in each other. Yet when you try to be much more feminine and over-encompassing, you can't do that because this person is coming from a more separated perspective. So if that provides you some clarity in the suspiciousness that you felt and the doubts and the questions that you have about this connection, then maybe that would be the one way of explaining it. And then we have the Eight of Pentacles. So I definitely see the Eight of Pentacles here as you building something spiritually related. So you guys definitely have your own pace in that. It might not be something like strictly spiritual. It might just be a new career, a new project that is aligned with your spirituality. So I guess Spirit definitely wants to remind you to put more of that showmanship into this project. It would be highly, highly beneficial. But at the same time, I guess I definitely intuitively placed the Star in reverse and the Knight of Swords here. But I see you having to develop better communication skills during this project, or for you to better develop this project, you need to communicate more, where you need to, basically step up your communication skills. So if that's the case, then know that, this is the main theme in your life, and this will be something that will be with you, accompany your spiritual journey in the long term. So if you're still wondering if this thing will work or not, it absolutely will, and it is written in the blueprint of your soul for it to happen. And at the same time, if you're fearful about the outcome, or if you're fearful about, I don't want to invest so much effort and time into something that is not guaranteed to me for its success, Spirit wants you to know that this thing is so interwoven in your own energies that you shouldn't see this as work. It's more about healing and transmuting your energies within this process. So individually speaking, this thing, or just by doing this thing, practicing this new project itself, has tremendous benefits for you spiritually and energetically. And I do see that by channeling these very creative energies, you will be able to feel better and feel less isolated too. So I don't know the nature of your work or your new project, but if it is something that you're currently thinking about heavily, and it has some sort of communications, whether it is verbal or creative communications, then this is absolutely talking about you. And then we have the Seven of Wands here. So this is absolutely you, this person holding the wand and standing really tall, fighting off all the other people who are trying to challenge them. So that's definitely you. And I see this happening in your previous environment, or the people that you already cut off. And they want you to know that, to give you a better clarity or perspective on these things, even though they didn't turn out the way you want them to turn out, things might ended up very cold and cold and ugly, I would say, and that's just not what you want life to be. I see that, that fiery energy again. You might really want things to be positive and be happy. And that's just not how the last cycle ended. But Spirit wants to point out the necessity of that. And they also want you to recognize that indeed you saw your power and you developed your skills. You developed your strength. The dimensions, yeah, of course, I feel like I also need to improve my communication skills a little bit more, but definitely your the dimensions, the depth of your soul are also being activated. So you need to recognize that and just take things for what they are. And they are also saying that if you're still having a hard time getting over lots of the things that took place, just know that very soon you will come into, you will find a footing for your new identity. You will feel like, I can finally be at peace with how things transpired, and I can actually claim those experiences, whether they're good or bad or terrible. I can claim them as my own. I can finally claim them as a part of my past. And that is highly related with how much you build upon this new project that Spirit is really pointing out to you that is fated and is very crucial. So that is definitely a very individualized message that's not very related to your romance. I definitely see these two things as two separate, I guess, storylines. But going back to the last card, the Star in reverse, I see you being able to be actually the star in your own environment, or at least in your own heart. You are separating yourself from some of the other energies that were present around you, and rightfully so. At the same time, I see that in the future, you will have to, I guess, manifest this star energy outwardly. And this is, I guess, very similar. The star imagery is quite similar to this imagery. So being absolutely naked. So you definitely stripped off lots of the old paradigm of yours, and you're finally okay with just being very spiritually naked. And I don't think that going back to your romantic relationship, I don't think your partner is, at all ready to be spiritually naked with you. But I see that having that energy, having that awareness within you now was what prompted you to go towards something deeper, or ask for something deeper, to go deeper into that void that you're feeling. But in the very near future, you will have to, with more practices and with more building, you will have to, and you will be very willing to show up to your audience, show up to whoever benefits from your work. In this kind of character, you will start having to represent the star energy. So be ready for that. And that's also related to the first card, is that you might need to, of course, very spiritually and very naturally develop an attractive persona. An attractive public persona is also what I'm getting. So that's all I'm seeing for you guys today, group 2. I definitely hope that you will gain much more clarity in terms of your relationship and in terms of your project, which I believe is more important to your personal growth. So yeah, that's all I'm getting from Spirit today. Definitely leave this video a comment or a thumbs up if you'd like to, and also subscribe to my channel for more as I'm building it. And I will see you guys next time. Take care, group 2. Bye. Hi, group 3. Welcome to your reading. So the oracle card that we have for you guys at the pile selection is Dreamer. So I'm going to be very straightforward about what I'm hearing from Spirit. So here's what I'm hearing. You can do so much better than this, and don't take on the negatives that happened. Don't take them personally. So I guess what you need to realize is that if you feel so negative about certain things, or there are just certain experiences that you share with your person that appear to be so negative and acceptable to you, then they just are. It's because you can do so much better. And the dream life that you need to build for yourself should not have so many limitations that you are feeling right now with your person. So that's what I'm hearing from Spirit. So definitely take that with a grain of salt, but that's just what I'm hearing. So I'm definitely not trying to give any advice about whether you should stay with this person or not, but that's just what I'm hearing from Spirit. The reason behind that is right now at your current moment in life, you don't know what kind of potentials, or you can't see the entire blueprint written in your soul right now. But what's on your way is just so much more than what you're experiencing now in your own reality, and especially with your romantic partner. And with the Dreamer card, I see you guys achieving so much more. I see you guys, it's almost like this. It's like each year or each cycle of your own. So for some people, it might be, month or monthly. For some, it would be on a yearly basis, but whatever it might be, what I'm seeing is just that the more you live your life, the more you start dreaming and start living your life out of your own conviction, the bigger the dream gets. It's almost like your life is constantly expanding. The more individualized and personal you get with yourself, and the deeper you go into your own spirit and with your own soul. So that's what I'm getting from the Dreamer card, because I see that energy being so positive, but it definitely reveals some of the problems and the bad experiences that you're having with your person is because your vision is just quite limited. And when you don't see clearly for yourself and your potential, it's so much easier to be limited by others' limitations too. And also the reason why you feel so negative is because sometimes other people just don't have this underlying soul energy in them. So even though right now you might perceive, or you might not, but however it might be, there is a sense of shared connection or perceived similarities that exist between you guys, but maybe this person does not have that expansive energy written within their stars, or in terms of timeline, they are not on the same type of spiritual trajectory as you. So when you do come together due to the perceived similarities or attraction, you actually come into conflict with others at the same time because of the underlying conflicts between your soul's energies and where your soul is going. So when in fact your soul is going like this, and maybe the other person is going like this, and you're trying to force the two streams of energies together, it would definitely create conflict. It would definitely create lots of resistance at the same time. So if you're actually seeing like resistance from a person, or just negative experiences, conflicts coming up, or just a sense of lack of connection, or an inability to connect on a conscious level, or anything deeper than just mere attraction, then this will be a pile. But definitely keep on watching as I'm picking out more cards to look into other energies present here. Okay, so again, very direct from the rest card. It also says give yourself time to recuperate. What I'm getting from this card is that, and again, this is Spirit's word, being filtered through my own consciousness, but definitely apply it the best way possible to yourself. So what I'm getting is that your person's energies have been effing you up in terms of your, I guess, daily schedule and your ability to just rest and recuperate. And it's almost like your own ability to heal yourself is stifled because of your connection with this person. It's almost like usually you can use your own energies to cleanse yourself when you are on your own, when you're not constantly connected with another person's energies on an astral, on a spiritual level. I wouldn't be surprised if you talk to this person a lot, either verbally, like verbal communications, or through like psychic connections. So that's how your energies get entangled with another person. But I definitely see this person's energies almost like keeping and lid over your own energies. It's like usually say when you're sleeping or just when like your own energies naturally evolve, you're able to, I guess, recycle all the energies and I guess cleanse yourself of some of the outdated energies that do not serve you anymore. And that's a very natural process that relies on time and just the natural like flow of life of the planetary transits. Yet right now, I feel like your connection with your person is like keeping you there. So this person might be someone whose energies just evolve at a different pace than yours. But right now, it's like this connection or this energetic channel that's been opened between you and your person is keeping you there, is keeping you constantly drained. And it's almost like this person constantly has access to your energy. So yeah, if that's what you're feeling, and also if you just can't stop thinking about this relationship and you know there are just thoughts all the time in your head 24/7, and that's like your main focus right now, that's also because of the energetic entanglement that's going on. And you know all the energies you know coming in now that will direct and influence your consciousness and your thoughts and your emotions. So I see you being kind of drained from that, from the rest card, and spirit definitely wants you to acknowledge that, and you have to start you know recovering from that yourself, because I don't really know how you're feeling right now. I do feel drained, but you know you might feel quite entertained in romance, where you know you might find other value in that. But you know spirit is definitely prompting you to just be in your own energies more. So however you might be feeling, that would be spirit's advice on how you can, I guess, stop delaying some of the things that's ahead of you, because right now your energies are stuck, if that makes sense. And then let's pick another card from the Shadow Work Oracle deck to see into the other, I guess, darker perspectives in this relationship, so that we can have a more well-rounded understanding of what's going on. Wow, so we have resisting change. Ask yourself why you're not wanting to change. Look at the positive side to the changes. So this is definitely resonating with what we already channeled, at least to me. So what is changing in your life? Okay, so what I'm getting from spirit is that what's changing, first of all, is on the inside for you spiritually, consciousness wise. You need to give up lots of the conditionings and the, excuse my language, but lots of the crap that was fed to you by the society, by your past. You need to give up on lots of that. And this person who came in, you know, your person, I would say, where if you are involved with a few people right now, then we're talking about the person that gives you the most headache, or at least the person that, you know, this part of your own energy is being manifested towards. So if you do feel like this person really fits the old conditionings or the old type of romantic standards of yours, then know that those things have to be let go of. Whether it is certain standards that you believed in, or you know you see that okay, this person has these prerequisites, and then you find values in them. It's not like you won't stop seeing values or practical values in certain things. It's almost like the mechanism changes. It's not going to be like you go into certain relationships because of these prerequisites that this person is showing. It's more about you are going into a connection from a more intuitive and spiritual, I guess, lens. And then you are asking yourself first if you like this person or not. You are rebuilding how you establish relationships with others, especially with romantic partners. It is such a natural process because we can always say like, oh, you need to start, if you want to have more heart-based energies and connections, you need to start going into connections from that perspective or from that standpoint. But with you, I see this person having a huge spiritual significance over your journey as well. Especially for you guys who are already quite intuitive and reliant upon your spirituality as guidance. But I do see you having to switch up how you perceive romance, or just how you get introduced into a new connection, what you do on your own part. And that would change everything in the game going forward. So that would be what I'm getting from the Oracle cards. Let's use tarot cards to look into like the more specific details of what you might be going through recently, group 3. Okay, so the first thing I'm getting from the King of Cups, which might not necessarily apply to everybody, but that's definitely like a very general energy I'm getting, is that this person came up in the King of Cups energy. And so that would be the first layer of meaning for the King of Cups. And they really liked you, and you can tell, you intuitively picked up that they are very interested in you. So it's almost like you got their heart in a sense, where you recognize that they liked you a lot. And that's the reason why you connect with them, or you recognize that, and then you start developing this connection with this person. The second layer of meaning from the King of Cups energy here is that you are actually being introduced to that energy, because you are looking for that in another person, and Spirit wants you to acknowledge that this person on a soul or spiritual level, they're not your King of Cups. But going back to yourself, you are being introduced to this energy of this more masculine and emotionally authoritative energy. So I would say, to me, the King of Cups energy is actually quite tricky, because I'm a Cancer. So it would be hard for me to, at least for myself, it's hard for me to understand emotions from a masculine way, or just to be in that, because I am a Cancer girl. But throughout times, I start to be more familiar with the King of Cups energy, and it's almost like, okay, it's such a cliche way of explaining things, but it's almost like you gotta start unapologetically applying the love you want to get from the King of Cups, or it's almost like from a knight on the white horse. That kind of love you have to start giving to yourself. you need to start having that sort of belief and conviction for your own energetic body. So that would be a huge stretch in terms of the receptive versus the acceptive mode within your energetic body. It's like you are really expanding your energetic channels within yourself. So if that resonates, definitely apply that energetically as well. Then we have the 10 of Cups in reverse, the 3 of Cups, Queen of Coins in reverse, and the 10 of Pentacles. So we have 2 tens that came out. Okay, so from the 10 of Cups energy in reverse here, this is Spirit telling you that your soul knows that this will be in your future. If you have a certain expectation or dream about this 10 of Cups energy of how family, of how romance should be, and somehow it's been quite washed out in your past, and how your past experiences with others, with circumstances, have led you to believe that it can be achieved, or that you start forgetting about this innate understanding of how life, how happiness should be. Yet when you are with these romantic partners, there are conflicts, there are senses of frustration and doubts and just conflicts in general. It's because your soul knows that you deserve much more than the energies at hand. You deserve much more than the what's actually going on right now, because it's almost like your soul knows what a person can offer at the very get-go, at the very beginning. And it's like your psychic ability, even though it might not be on a conscious level, it's like you can see into the future of the potential of this partnership. So if you do feel very frustrated and just not happy with this relationship, it's because you don't see any potential with this person on a deep soul level. So for all my group 3 friends here, I definitely see you achieving that innate sense of understanding, because you carry that within you. That's the energy you carry. If you don't have that, you wouldn't even have that sense of sentiment, that sense of longing within you, because you just don't have that within your soul. So absolutely recognize that within yourself and try to bring that back to you for now individually, and to give that to you as much as possible. And then we have the 3 of Cups upright here, and I usually take the middle card as the themed card. So let's see, Spirit, what can you tell me about the 3 of Cups here? I'm hearing from Spirit that this card is indicating a fear of not being accepted for some reason. So if that resonates with you and that's what's being manifested in this relationship, then that would be it. So I see this person as someone who would be perceived quite popular, or at least very socially successful, or at least when you guys are together, you fit in that mode of, these two people, when they're together, it makes sense on a 3D level. Like you guys fit a certain type of like relationship status that it just fits lots of the standards, like it checks lots of boxes for you guys. Yet it definitely reveals a deep sense of, fear of not being popular, or fear of not being accepted by others. So that's just what it is. And I feel that, that's just a status quo of what might be going on a deeper level. And you just need to rest and let things happen so that this layer of fear, this layer of conditioning will be shed throughout time. I'm not seeing a sense of urgency for this either, so definitely just give yourself more rest and be in your own energies more, because your own planetary transits and your soul's development, your soul's course schedule will bring you out of anything that needs to be cleaned. And then we have the Queen of Coins in reverse and the Ten of Coins. So this is really talking about the more practical aspect of things. You might be in the process of building certain things, or that in your current relationship, you're showing up as someone very abundant and knows what they're doing. You are representing this Queen of Coins energy, or that this is something you're trying to resist. You are still looking for that sense of abundance and sense of security outside of yourself. Yet this energy is within you, maybe even more than the extent of this pentacle energies in your person. And we're really talking about energies and potentials here. And even though it's potentiality, it's just the energies that's, placed upon you. And it will be manifested outside, is what I'm hearing. So I'm hearing from Spirit that you really need to start building whatever's been on your mind. You really need to put in more work so that you can, represent this. And if you've been on a quite arduous spiritual journey and working even harder right now just sounds so much to you, then absolutely rest. But Spirit is asking you to recognize that energy, and also, you don't really need to be in control in terms of, the hustling and the grinding here that we always, think about when it comes to hard work or the Pentacles energy. As we said before, it is written in your stars, so it will happen, and you still have to work for it, but it won't be anything that's so so controlling over you, or you have to exert so much as how we were in the 3D reality to push things forward. It's there's no the devil's energy around this situation, around this new work that you're building, because it's very aligned with your spirituality and aligned with where you're supposed to go with your North Node. So it will eventually happen. And the gist here is the experience of you working towards it throughout time. That's what will be with you long term, is the recognition, the awareness, the experience that's developed throughout. But of course, there's got to be some outcome that come out of it. So from the Ten of Pentacles card here, you will receive success from your project. So that's very specific, because I really want to, not be too wishy-washy and be you will receive success in your career and in your family life as well. I will first interpret this card in relation to the next changes that you need to embark upon, or at least to accept, and the new project, if there is one, or if you're just still at the planning phase, and at the, you're still trying to receive more permission from Spirit or divine inspiration. Spirit first wants to acknowledge to you that you have to work on it. That's the right way to proceed. And second of all, if you've been worrying about the outcome, or if you're just like, okay, Spirit, is this the right path to go? I really, really don't want to invest too much if I can, receive success. Or, that would be effort and time, emotions gone wasted. The Spirit is telling you that you will, and there will be obstacles on this course, but you will eventually reach this Ten of Pentacles energy. You will reach a level of success and abundance that match your own innate Ten of Pentacles energy. So, and also definitely don't feel too stressed out about anything at the current moment. Just rest and give yourself more time. Even if you've already been quite alone and isolated, still try to develop even more strength and even more faith in this time of resting, of recuperating, and even retracting some of the energies and communications back to yourself, and if you can, to the building of your own project. So I know even though this is a love reading, we definitely got a lot of insights into your own spiritual journey, and maybe this new project that a lot of my group 3 friends are working on right now. But definitely leave this video a comment or thumbs up if you like to, and also subscribe to my channel for more love readings in the future. I am sending you guys so much blessings and love, and I absolutely wish that you can gain much more clarity in terms of your person and your own spiritual journey very soon. Take care, group 3. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hi, group 4. Welcome to your reading. So the oracle card that came out for this group is Aries. So from this card, I'm not getting that like the majority of you guys are Aries or even fire signs. That's not what I'm getting. I'm getting a very individualized focus from this card. So what I'm first hearing from Spirit, and I will be very straightforward about the messages, of course, is that it will be better now for you to recognize some of your own flaws and even mistakes, I would say, even though honestly we can't really make that many mistakes in our spiritual journey. It's all about the experiences. But right now in your current relationship, if you can start seeing more of your own flaws and your own imperfections, it will actually make you feel much more comfortable and make things feel more reasonable at the same time. So it's almost like you might feel like this person has did you wrong a little bit, or things have transpired in a really unfair way to you. So now Spirit is actually urging you to maybe just start facing or start recognizing some of your own flaws in the relationship, or how those energies, how they're being manifested outwardly in this relationship, so that you won't feel so victimized and feel so, I guess, emotionally burdened by, the other's thought, the thought of, this person is just, did me so wrong, or things like that. So definitely apply this in an energetic term as well, to your own individual circumstance. So at the same time, I do sense an Aries energy. So some of you guys might be Aries, yet I guess just for the majority of my group 4 darlings here, you guys need to start channeling in more of that Mars energies too, and have more conviction in your individuality. I actually wouldn't be surprised if some of you guys are big water signs, but now it's time to be more like masculine, have that fire ignited within you, so that you won't feel like a mirror that much you will have a better grasp of where your own self, where your soul lies. So that's definitely what I'm getting from the Aries card. And then let's pick a few more cards to see into the other energies present. But another thing that I just got from Spirit, and I will be dead honest, is that this relationship isn't going anywhere. Like, this person isn't it. So if that's what you've been feeling or intuitively picking up, then that's Spirit's confirmation to you. But we will still use other oracle cards to see into the energies. And also, if you're just thinking that everything has been great and this doesn't resonate with you that much, then pick another pile or another reading. So definitely take things as how they resonate with you. Okay, one thing that I'm getting from the heart card, which says emotions and intuition, is this. Let's just go into the message first. So Spirit is saying that you've been listening to your heart and living from your heart for a long time now, and kudos to you. That's definitely a very innately positive thing. Yet they're asking you to recognize that you are currently developing a more heart-based intelligence, developing a heart-based spiritual language. So it's absolutely not always sunshine and rainbows. So Spirit is actually wanting to point out to you that your person has been benefiting from your heart-based energies, and in a negative way. So I would say this benefiting would be explained as profiting off of, or trying to just kind of like energetically vampire you off your heart-based energy. So if that feels like, if that provides some explanations to some of the experiences that you had, then this would be your pile. So that definitely creates, all sorts of mess for sure. Yet Spirit also wants you to understand that your strength and your consciousness are being so activated right now. Like, there is underlying positivity within all of these things. So maybe as we explain it, it sounds kind of, I would say even effed up, because you are, trying to be pure in your heart-based energy, yet, the universe sends you someone who would profit off of it. Yet this lesson itself is trying to help you develop more spectrum within your heart-based energies. And I guess, your heart, or, love is the greatest weapon, if we have to put it in that way. So, when it comes to all the good and the bad, all the positive and the negatives in your life, you should be able to understand it from a heart-based connection, from your connection with the divine, which for lots of us is through our heart chakra. So you now need to develop a deeper emotional spectrum and acceptance, and also intuition with all the different scenarios that life, nature, the universe bring to you through the human experiences. So it's almost like you now finished the first part of the heart lessons. Now we're going forward. We're going into this less secure, less fluffy territory of, what can come out of our emotions, of our heart. And it's almost like there is a thin line between love and hate, and all these emotions, they all come from our heart. Some of them are higher in their vibrations, some of them are lower. Your heart and your intuition are being strengthened so that you can experience and even, withstand more better and more worse, if that makes sense. And your heart is absolutely your greatest weapon and your greatest, I would say, spiritual tool in your journey. So, of course, right now, Spirit, at this current stage of your life, want you to develop it more, want you to work that muscle more for the later things, for the later blueprints that want to be manifested in your life. And then we have negativity that I picked from this shadow oracle card, so that we can have a more well-rounded understanding of your relationship. And it says negativity, let go of the pessimistic attitude, it's getting old. Think of something positive right now, shift your thinking. Okay, so Spirit, why is this card here? Spirit just told me that you guys know what it means. So if there are negative cycles of thoughts in your head recently, and specifically with relationships in general, you might be constantly thinking about old situations and scenarios, and with this person, how things have transpired down to the details, down to the nitty-gritties of energies, then I guess these thinking and inquiry have served their purpose, but now it's just been creating lots of turbulent emotions and negative emotions. And Spirit really want you to be happier, because now Spirit is saying that these negative emotions have been outdated already, and you're just suffering because of the cycles and the chemical obsessions that were created within your own energetic body. And also, if possible, I guess, retract some of that heart energies back to yourself. So if you do communicate with this person very frequently, or at least just on a psychic level, like your energies are very entangled together, then definitely try to isolate your own energies from this person, even just temporarily, and that will help you be healed by the flow of your own energies. When you are connected with another person through this energetic channel that you allowed, it's almost like no matter how much you recuperate and how much you cleanse yourself, that energy will always flow to that person, and their energy will be exchanged back to you as well. But now you really want your own energies to wash over you. So do some meditations and try to just consciously bring back some of that energies, whichever spiritual method you might use to achieve that. This is the suggestion that I'm getting from Spirit. So going forward, we will look into the specific details of your relationship using tarot cards. So first up, we have the Nine of Swords in reverse. Okay, that is how you entered this relationship. That was where you were energetically when you first entered this relationship, or this energy might even spill over to the now. So you might be feeling like this at the current moment, or this relationship might have even exacerbated this feeling. So yeah, I would say that before you met this person, you were going through a long period of, it's like a retrograde feeling. You just you weren't very positive about your energies. You weren't very happy with where your life, like just the status quo of life, and you were just mentally bugged down by how things transpired in your past. And then we have the High Priestess here. So even though you were going through such an arduous mental and spiritual period, you are the High Priestess and you reached a new level of consciousness. You did. You definitely put down both of your feet on this new plane of consciousness. You've entered this new era of yours, yet I don't see this being completely manifested outwardly. So I do see that as a prediction, this new reality, this new expectation for life will be manifested very quickly. And Spirit also wants you to know that even though you are going through another tough relationship with your person that you're inquiring about specifically, just know that all of these setbacks and hurdles that don't seem to come to a stop, they're all just trying to bump you into the right direction. It's almost like, oh, even though you are following your intuition, the universe, in order for things to actualize in your reality, they still need the external forces to bring you there. So you are absolutely on the right path, and know that this retrograde feeling that you've been through will come to a stop very, very quickly. And you will start feeling like the current of life is behind your back again. You won't feel like you're just going against the grain anymore. And that would be how this High Priestess energy finally being present in your life, and you finally being aligned with it, and for your reality to be finally actualized and manifested and be aligned to this energy that you are already representing now. So yeah, that was definitely a mouthful, but this third card here, we have the Seven of Pentacles. And this card is the theme card of what you're going through right now. So you are definitely waiting, and you planted a lot of seeds already, yet I see you having to just go a little bit further in terms of your own spirituality, because I definitely see you having to build something new very soon, where you are in the process of that, where you are currently building something that's it's almost like halfway there, yet you are waiting. And within this waiting period, you actually need to advance your spirituality much more, or at least to, I guess, use all that intuition and apply them and translate them into something you can actually work on. So I would say, from a high level, even though you're so connected to spirit now, it's almost like you need to be more artisanal in that. You need to work on this channel, this, this new ability that you gained, or you've honed over time. And even though now you're waiting things to actually happen in your real life, on a spiritual level, there are more things to do. And it should be, on a conscious level, you should recognize those things as opportunities and blessings as well, because it would be hard for you to stay in that conviction when you've gone through so much and Spirit is still asking you to wait. So it would be much better for you emotionally to know that everything right now, even though it may not seem like that, everything is going just the way they are. You are actually going on an upward trajectory right now. It's just that externally, there are still conflicts and bad experiences being reflected back to you, but just know that on a deep soul level, you're definitely winning. And knowing that keeping that at heart will always make you feel better is what I'm getting. And know that you are only competing with yourself, competing with your own past, and don't let anybody else's path or pace of development, getting your own thinking, getting your own confidence, getting your own belief in Spirit and where your soul is taking you. And then we have the Three of Swords, and last but not least, the Two of Swords in reverse. Okay. It's almost like it's telling me a death of a part of you. If it's not that intense, it's almost like you've experienced the death of an era, is what I'm getting from the Three of Swords here. So it's absolutely terrible, the visceral feelings. Yet that's just a part of your heart development. Even though it's hard to accept, and that level of pain is just not comfortable and just not nice and not okay, but it's almost like you can only carry so much light, where it's almost like you can only carry the same amount of light when you go through the same amount of darkness, where after you go through the same amount of darkness, it's almost like, it's a spectrum, and it's like the Tai Chi symbol. We have equal amounts of feminine, masculine, yin, yang, light and dark. So it's almost like your past reality has to be crushed by Spirit, by the universe. And then you experience that deep void of darkness. And, it's almost like that level of pain with darkness is something new. It's a new frontier to you as a soul. And you really went deeper than you ever went before. And in the process of coming back, or right now you are in the process of coming back, and you're soon reaching for the light. So it's like you're expanding the spectrum of your intuition, of your heart's ability to receive and to give. And so this, Three of Swords energy really comes as being quite necessary, even though it's not like you ever want to experience that again, or, you don't, it's not good. It's not a good feeling. But Spirit definitely wants you to know that nothing has gone lost, nothing has gone wasted. The last card here, we have the Two of Swords in reverse. Spirit is actually urging you to not have these sort of clenched up energy within yourself. It's actually urging you to open up a little bit more, and I don't see this being necessarily applied to your person. It's just, how you live your life 24/7, moment to moment. It would be better if you don't get too defensive within your own energies towards this negativity that you're feeling. It's almost like you're on a battle, like different streams of energies are at war with each other within yourself. And that's so natural in your current flow of energies. Yet if you can proactively open up a little bit, like maybe through meditation, or even just through finding pick a card readings and just receiving that sort of connections through the reader's channeling, I see you being able to prevent that from happening. Because when you do clench all these things up and you don't release any of the bad vibes to the outside, then that will only create more cycles and turbulence within yourself. So that's definitely the advice I'm getting, as well as the previous suggestions that we already said. But in terms of where you're going with your person, let's definitely come back to, the main question in this reading. Again, Spirit is telling me that deep in your soul that you're not going that far with this person. So that's just what I'm getting. Like, I always want to leave some room for like leave some room for different possibilities, but that's what I'm getting for you guys today from Spirit. So that's all, group 4. Definitely take this reading with a grain of salt. I am wishing you guys so much clarity in terms of your own spiritual journey and where you're at with your person. And I definitely know that you can access that within yourself, maybe now or even in the near future. So that's all, group 4. Definitely leave this video a comment or a thumbs up if you like to, and also subscribe for more love and spiritual messages like this in the future. I am sending you guys so much love and blessings. Take care. I will see you guys next time. Bye.